Alright, this video is about a E-Zip. They're pretty much all the same. This one's an E40. Everything's compact in here, kind of hard to get to and work on. This is always a nightmare because if you pull it out, this metal back in here will hit on here and spark an arc. So this person before me had tape on this. They couldn't figure it out. So anyway, here's your batteries, 24 volt. This is coming off the battery pack. So red is your hot, your positive, black's your negative. Plugs into right here. And so from here you have, if I can get in here, it's so tight for wire length. There you go. See, you got the positive and the negative. Here's the negative. Right there. So the positive goes into this fuse and then out of the fuse, up this shaft, into the switch and out of the switch. So essentially you got two ways. If it's not working, you know, you got this fuse here that could go bad, or the switch. So positive goes from the battery through here, through the fuse, up here, back down, and then out. So where it's coming out of here is over here on this positive and negative. And there was a end like that on there. And so that end right there would plug into the controller here. So essentially, if you would just run this right to this, that's what you're doing, except for you're running it through a fuse and an on and off switch. So, but I had to cut this off because the controller smoked, and I'm using a different controller which have different plugs, so I'm having to put different plugs on it. But anyway, okay, so going back to here, your ground, or the negative, is coming off, and it just goes right over and is in that same clip that looks like this. So you got the ground just go straight into that clip, and then the positive's coming down from here to here, and that's in one clip and goes on to here. Now, this little wire, if you can see right here, that little black wire is tied in right here, and it goes up, and it comes out of the right there and goes into this pigtail, and then into this pigtail over to here, this is the charger. I think I can open it with one hand. The charging port. So the positive actually comes from right here. So you got positive in or out, or vice. Actually positive in, probably out, and then this is the wire they piggybacked off of that. That comes down to here for the charger. So that's where those all come from. The blue is actually called overcharge protection, and you won't see any of that middle one used on a Razor product at all, only on these. So that comes down, and the blue comes out right here, and that would be plugged into right here on this. So this thing's pretty basic on these. You got that's your throttle, and then this is that overcharge protection I just showed you, the blue. This is your motor. That plugs directly into the motor. Then this plugs in where I had those wires clipped. That's your power. And then this last one right here is your brake shut off. And the brake shut off is basically, so like a kid with whiskey throttle, if he hits the brake and he's holding the throttle, it'll shut off the controller. So it's just a lot of controllers, you can just leave that unplugged, and then you can hit the brake and the gas at the same time. But the biggest take of this video is just where all this wiring is and how it's ran behind the scenes.